Hey guys, so this week's topic is dealing with relapse. So just things to do, things to prevent it, things to get back into recovery, that sort of deal. So yeah, I think the first thing that people have to realize is that there's a difference between lapses and relapses, which Michelle covered too, so some of this stuff is going to be a repeat, but I'll mention anyways, just in case. But yes, a lot of times people will have one slip up and then automatically label themselves as relapsing. And I think, I think that is a bad label to put on yourself, mainly from the negative connotations it puts on yourself. I think a lot of relapses could probably be prevented if we didn't title ourselves in relapse automatically. And what I mean by that is because if you put that slip up and label it a lapse, you're more likely to then be able to focus on saying, okay, it's a lapse, I can get up, dust myself off, and get right back on recovery. If you slip up that one time and then honestly say, okay, I'm relapsing, just give up, I'm relapsing, you're putting yourself up for failure, which is not the kind of thing that you want to do. And I know it's just different words, but they both have different meanings, and they can affect you strongly in recovery-wise. So I think it's definitely key to realize when you're just having a lapse and when it's actually a relapse, just for your own sake of staying or getting back into recovery. I think another way to prevent it, and also when you are in a relapse, is to be honest with yourself and anyone in your treatment team, if you have one. I know some people don't, like I don't have a treatment team of any sort anymore. So for those of you that are like me, then, or even if you do have a treatment team, it's also important to be honest with friends, family, whoever you're close to, or deem as part of your recovery. I don't know. They're recovery focused with you and are genuinely in your court and aren't going to judge you and all that good stuff. So I definitely be honest. One thing that I always had a problem with when I had my therapists or psychiatrists or anybody in treatment team, doctors, whatever, I was never honest. Whenever I could, I would use terms that could hide really what I'm feeling. Does that make sense? Again, I'm going to repeat something Michelle said, but the term fine. I use that like every time someone would ask me, how are you? I'd be like, I'm fine. That was until my last therapist and psychiatrist, they both knew each other, and they would not allow me to use the word fine unless I went by what their definition of fine was. And their definition of fine is effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. So if that's really how you're feeling, then go ahead and use that term. So yeah, if you ever wonder what fine really means, that's what it means. And it quite fits, honestly, because usually when people use the term fine, it's really how they're feeling, but they want to sound like they're okay. It's a term you use to get people to stop asking you questions. But as I found out, I couldn't use it with them. So I kind of adapted okay, which usually people deem okay as, okay, you're fine. Okay, sorry, I will not use the term fine. It's like stuck in my vocabulary though. But yeah, I would start using other terms that they wouldn't question, like okay, which is not the way to go when you have somebody that's trying to help you and stay on recovery or get in recovery or whatever place you may be. So that is key, is being honest with everyone, including yourself. A lot of people will lie to themselves. I think another thing for relapse is to plan ahead. While you're in recovery, have a relapse prevention plan. This is a big thing in like inpatient places. They always have you do a relapse prevention plan before you leave. I never finished mine or went by them, but it is a good idea to have them. What you have in it, it's up to you, but something is to have in there is your team. That's usually what they include. So your doctor, psychiatrist, therapist, nutritionist, whatever part of the team that they're including. Like I said, right now I have not a zilch of those, so that can't be in my relapse prevention plan at all. But others would be friends and family that you can rely on and are willing to listen to you and, yeah, aren't going to be judgmental and will be helpful and not hurtful in your recovery if you're relapsing. And another thing is to have just a plain old meal plan to go by in case you are relapsing, because then you have something that's already written. You don't have to try to focus on trying to figure out what am I going to eat and all that when your eating disorder is trying to tell you not to or trying to tell you to eat too much or whatever. Just have a generic meal plan set forth so that you can pull it out if you feel that you're struggling. I think that's pretty much it, is basically plan ahead, make a relapse prevention plan, keep it somewhere safe, keep it somewhere that's easily accessible, maybe go over it once a week just in case, make changes, update it, whatever. And being honest with yourself and others that are trying to help you, and then also knowing the difference between a lapse and a relapse. And I was going to say something else. I don't know. I'll go on to the question if I think of it. I'll throw it in. Okay, the question of the week is, what is your, I don't remember the exact terms. I guess it was like, where would you want to go on your holiday or vacation? That's a simple one for me because it's somewhere I've wanted to go. It's somewhere I'm obsessed with and just absolutely would love to go there. It was supposed to be where we'd go on my honeymoon, but we didn't end up going. We didn't do a honeymoon. So someday when kids are old enough to remember it or old enough to stay with people long enough, then we'll go. But that place is Egypt. I absolutely adore and am obsessed with Egypt. I love Egypt, the pyramids, just everything. It's so freaking amazing. So yes, that is it. And I'm gonna go because my dogs are being ridiculously loud. So yeah, that was everything for you. Hope you all are having a good week. Later.